How to make an imaginary animal using a styrofoam ball, Crayola Model Magic, and a pipe cleaner. First, I'm flattening some of the Model Magic and coloring it with a marker. Model Magic does come in different colors, but if you color it with a marker and mix it up and then color it a little bit more with a marker and mix it up, you can change the color to whatever you need. So I'm making a little bit of pink and a little bit of green. I'm going to have a green monster with a few pink details. I'm now wrapping it around a styrofoam ball. I flattened a little sheet of it and I wrapped it around a styrofoam ball. And now I'm making the pink for the wings. And you're going to see I kind of end up messing up here. I have to remove the wings, and I'm not going to add them till the end. So it's a little bit of trial and error here. If you get messed up, don't worry about it. You can just pull the clay off and change your idea a little bit, or change the order that you're doing things. So right now I'm using the scissors to cut out the wings, and now I am adding the wings, which I'm going to have to remove later because they're going to accidentally get mushed when I add the legs. You'll see what happens. All right, so I've added the wings. I've got my head. Notice the neck is widest where it touches the body and gets narrower as it gets away from the body. Also notice that I'm measuring the legs. After I cut the first leg, I'm measuring it against the other pieces so that all four of them are the same size. That's very important. I'm also using the part of the scissors that's nearest the hinge to cut because that's the strongest part of the scissors. Now I'm sticking the four legs in the clay, and I will have to go back later and add some Crayola Model Magic around the legs so that they're not a different color. And as you can see, every time I turn it over on the bottom, I'm messing up the wings and having to redo them. Eventually, I just give up and I save them for last. Now I'm worried about the tail, and I'm going to start making a little bit more clay to add the tail, so I need to add a little more green. This entire animal is made from a single package of Model Magic, so as I need more color, I'm pulling some out of the package and using it. It's just one of those individual packages you find in a class pack of Model Magic. Each student only got one package, and they knew they needed to make their animal small enough that it would last. So now I'm making the head. I made the ears. I used the scissors to cut out the mouth, and I'm sort of smushing and blending the head on so that the neck is widest where it touches the body and gets narrower as it goes up. If the head is too big, the entire neck is going to flop over and collapse. One way to fix that is you can put a toothpick inside it, and then it won't flop over as much. And now I'm going to make some more green clay, which I'm going to now use to wrap around the legs. Using the toothpicks and the pipe cleaner on the inside is very helpful because it gives the animal what's called an armature. It allows it to stand up without flopping over while it's drying. So now notice the tail gets skinnier the farther away it goes from the body. If the tail is too thin at the body and too thick at the end, it's going to snap right off. And now I've finally woken up and realized that I need to save the wings for last. Now I'm using you can use a toothpick. I'm using a bent paper clip to add in little details. You'll see the add in texture. You can also wait till the entire animal's finished and you could add in details using a marker. So I'm giving it a kind of a unicorn horn, and that didn't work out so well because it got pink all over the head. So I'm making more green clay to kind of hide the end of the unicorn horn. Now I'm using a bent paper clip to draw in some details. And I'm going to use a hot glue gun to glue on the googly eyes. I have low temperature hot glue guns set up in my classroom. They cost about $2-3 at Walmart, and they're very low temperature, so they're not dangerous for the students to use at all. I'm adding in all the little details that got mushed up while I was building the animal. And I'm going to draw right on the animal's surface to add scales and other textures. Make sure it looks the way I want it to. And all the little details that make it look more interesting when you're done. Okay, that's the basic shape is done. So now I'm going to glue on the eyes. And then I'm going to add in the scales using a marker. And that's pretty much how you would make a small animal using a single package of Crayola Model Magic, some markers, a styrofoam ball, and some pipe cleaners. And that's our finished project. The kids were able to complete it in just one class period. We were reading the story of the Little Prince in class, and the kids invented their own animals. Since the Little Prince came from another planet, they were interested in what life might look like on other planets. This student even created a sculpture of the sheep that Antoine de Saint-Exupéry drew for the Little Prince. Being able to create their own animals gave the students the freedom to experiment.